Hey, this is Father George Corrigan of St. Francis of Assisi in Triangle, Virginia, with a few Sunday thoughts on the readings for the sixth Sunday of Ordinary Time. The lines from that first reading, he shall dwell apart, making his abode outside the camp. Those had to be frightening and devastating words to have heard them, because what it meant is you are barred from community, you're barred, you're isolated, you're shunned, you're outside the camp. We have different words on our modern life, but we do that. We it's one way or another. For other reasons, we push people outside the circle of our friends. And like in the wilderness in Exodus, out there, there's aloneness. You're outside the circle of kind of social safety, of companionship. And you're outside the comfort zone of touch, of simple human touch. And that's the state of things when the leper comes to Jesus and is asked to be cured. He asked to be cured. Now, how are we to respond? Well, how did Jesus respond? I think the way you can look at it is that Jesus responded with compassion, not judgment. There's not a lot of inquiry. There's no reprimand. There's no demand. He just feels compassion. That's something that was revealed to us about God in the Word made flesh of Jesus. God is not primarily judgmental, directive, demanding, but is compassionate. God is intimate. Certainly the sense of human touch. Just ask the elderly, the poor, the depressed, the isolated. Jesus could have cured at a distance, could have cured with a gesture, and yet he reaches out and he touches. That leper gets to experience that sense of the human touch. And that is what God is, this eagerness to be in relationship, that God can reach out and touch us in love. God is mindful. Not only does he address the deepest desire of this man to be healed, but he also addresses this deepest hope that this man has value, dignity, and worth, and that God is far more willing maybe to bless us than we are to be blessed. And God is, and Jesus is giving. It's that act of mercy, but yet that costs something, Jesus. The word spreads. He's not really able to kind of walk freely around the country. His ministry is impacted. Such is the nature of love. It always costs something. In a way, he trades places with a man, but he loses some of his freedom to move, where the man joins and gains the freedom to move, restore himself into the community. Compassionate, intimate, mindful giving. Even I asked myself, why aren't I more like Christ? In this past week, why wasn't it easier for me to be those things? Why is it more natural to be that things? And sometimes we just simply need to take our breath and remind ourselves that somewhere on the other side of impatience, annoyance, irritation, exasperation, and all those emotions of modern life, we can choose grace. We can choose to let us infuse us and ask God that we be compassionate, mindful, giving, and intimate in this moment right before us. In that way, reveal the very nature of God and Jesus to the one with whom we touch. And that's a few thoughts for the Sunday Gospel.